Hello and welcome to this short video on how to register and log into e-learning for health. This is part of the module Health Promotion in Action, and the first thing you need to do is open Google Chrome, which I've already done here, and type in e-learning for health. And then you'll see here the first option, the first search item, e-learning for health, and this is the website. And then you go up to the top, register, and then go to register here. You're going to then put your work email address, which in your case is the student email address. And I'm going to put my university email address as well, and just type that in again. It's really important to put your university email address, which is the 8-digit number at student.uwl.ac.uk, and then you can put your personal email address in there as well. And you put your details, Salim, Fora, and then you can put a secondary email address, which I would say would be your personal email address. I won't put anything in there for the moment. England, London, and then in this case I'm going to put lecturer. You will put student. Okay, so in this case you would put student, and you can see here you would choose public health student. Okay, that's what you choose. In fact, I will do that. I will make that choice just to see, so I'm connected to you. In terms of primary specialty, again we'll go down and we'll look for public health, and the closest one we have is public health medicine, so we'll put that in. Okay, and in terms of place of work, I will put 4th of October, and then in terms of place of work it's going to be the University of West London, and you can see here there's two. I'm going to pick the second one because that's the proper address. It actually says University of West London, NHS England, London, non-NHS organisation, West London University, St Mary's Road, Ealing, Greater London. That's the proper one, so we'll go for that one. Register. Thank you for registering with e-learning for health. You will shortly receive an email notifying you of your username and temporary password. Please be aware that at busy times your registration email may take up to an hour to be generated and sent. If you haven't received your registration email within an hour, please contact support. So in which case I'm going to copy that email address and I'm going to put it in my notes. E-learning for health. I'm just going to put that here. Just going to go there, and also check your spam or junk folder. So I'm going to open Outlook. I'm going to check my account. I'm going to go right to the top, see if there's anything that has appeared, and nothing has appeared, so I'm going to go to other. If you're using Focus, again I don't see anything, so I'm going to wait for a little while and hopefully it will arrive. I'll actually go into here, this version without the focus, just to see if there's anything appearing in my email. I'm also going to check my junk folder just in case, and again I can't see anything there, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time. So here is my email registration confirmation. Here's my details. So again, I'm going to copy all of that just to make sure I don't lose anything. So I'm going to put it in my notes folder. Here it is, and that's fantastic. So I'm just going to now use those details, username, and I'm going to actually click this. So I've got the user details, so I'm going to copy that. Then oops, it's gone into another browser, my Safari browser. Let's see what happens. There it is. So I need to change the password to a new password. So that's entirely up to you. As it says, 8 characters must contain at least one numeric, at least one uppercase and one lowercase alphabetical character. Okay, so I'm going to create one. So I've changed my password. Now you aim to remember it. You can use the password manager as it's appeared here. I won't use that now. So I've done all that. So I'm now going to go back. I'm going to minimize this, minimize my notes, and registration is complete. So I'm going to now type in my username, which was that Vora1551. I've got my password. I'm going to say remember me, as it's my personal computer, and here I am. For now I'm going to actually save it so I can easily access it. I accept the terms. Please read this. Please select the first question. So these are security questions. So I'm going to put so save your security questions. Here's the details. I'm going to put end date to the future. So in my case, I'm going to actually make it a very long time away. Additional responsive, I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to save the changes. Okay, and so here's my details. I haven't put an alternative email address. I would suggest that you do put a personal email address. In fact, I will do that as well. So here I want to ensure your device is correctly set up to display and record your e-learning out. Please check your device using our technical checker. So I'm going to press that. Cookies enabled, Adobe Reader, excellent. You're using Web Chrome version 92. It's got a little asterisk there. It's probably, I need to update it, as you can see here, and it's a Mac, so that's fine. You have 2 unread high priority messages, so here it is. These are the 2 things for you to read. One is about GDPR, which is really important for you to understand, which is the General Data Protection Regulations. And also there is a survey. For now, I'm going to leave that, but I will do the survey, and I hope you will do so too. And so I'm going to go to my e-learning, and I'm going to check my activity, which is where the reports and certificates are. So that's fantastic. There's 4 emails now. You can see here, help to do our role, virtual instructor-led learning faculty. So these all look excellent. I would go and actually join as many of these as I could, and I will be doing so over the coming weeks. So let's just go back to my learning, and I want to go to the full catalogue. And so what I'm looking for is volunteer learning program. So that's the first thing I'm going to look for. So I might type it in, or I might actually go all the way down because it's in alphabetical order. So volunteer learning. That looks good. Roles and responsibilities, data security, awareness, safeguarding. This looks very nice. And then optional sessions, which you don't need to do unless you want to. that is not part of the main course. So fantastic. So let's have a look. How can I register for this learning? So you can see here, these are the certificates that you'll be going for. So I need to do all of these. So I'm going to enroll on each of these. Continue. If you choose to launch this session, then will be added to your account. Fantastic. That's what I want. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to check this. Okay, so all of them are now linked. So that's fantastic. So I'm going to go back to my e-learning. I'm going to go back to the full catalog. And the second one is community approach centered approaches to health improvement. So again, I'm going to go down. I could search for it. So you could just search for it here, community. I don't like this. That's why I didn't do it the first time. So I'm going to, there it is, community center. So I'm going to enroll in that one. But I prefer the actual full catalog. I prefer to just go down the list. Person centered, so that's P. So I'm going to go all the way down. Person-centered approaches, fantastic. So again, I'm going to enroll on that. Enroll. Continue with enrollment. Excellent. Again, I'm going to go back to the full catalog. Next one is social prescribing. So that's S. Social prescribing, learning for link workers, that's the one we're going to use. Again, I'm going to enroll, continue with enrollment. And then the next one is alcohol and tobacco brief interventions. Again, back into the full catalogue, alcohol and tobacco brief interventions, enroll, continue with enrollment. And tackling loneliness and social isolation. T, so I'm going to go all the way down. Tackling homelessness. No, so that one is not here, which is interesting. So I'm going to have a look at why that's not there. Tackling loneliness and social isolation. So I'm going to try here. Now, I'm not sure, maybe we don't have access to it as public health students, maybe it's aimed at, so tackling loneliness, I'm going to search for it. There it is. So for some reason it's loneliness and social isolation, it doesn't begin with T. So I'm just going to go back to home. I'm going to go back to my e-learning. I'm going to go back to the full catalogue, and I'm going to again look for it as loneliness, L. There it is, loneliness and social. So it's really important. Just 1 second, there's 2 versions or something. There's a PWP and an LSI, which I'm not sure about. So let's just have a look. This session has been developed for health and social care workforces. Okay, and then what's this one? This program contains various on topic. The resource includes evidence-based reports, guidance, fact sheets on services to address loneliness. It's helpful for anyone with an interest. So that's not the one. So we're going for this one, the top one, which says LSI, loneliness, social. This session has been developed for health and social work addressing loneliness. So this is the one we're using. Yeah, this is the one which has loneliness and social isolation, LSI. So enroll, continue with enrollment, and so that one is there. Just want to say, yeah, tackling loneliness, there it is. So that's nice. go back again to my e-learning, go to the full catalogue. I'm going to do making every contact count, so M. Making every contact count, fantastic. Again, enroll, continue with enrollment. The 8th module, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th module is cultural competence, and 9th is key working for children and young people with a learning disability, autism. There you go. So I'm going to go into my e-learning, and again I'm just going to have a look at that. Yeah, fine, that's nice. So some of them you will see are quite long. For example, the volunteer learning, there's many different aspects, and others are much shorter. For example, if we go to making every contact count, that's reasonable. And then again, if we go into person-centered approaches, you can see lots of different elements, different levels. You can see here there's only 2 here. So the marks are similar across all of them for now, as we're not sure how long each of them is likely to take. And that's for you to have a look at and to understand in more detail. Okay, so that's it for today. That's where you need to get to, and then over time, and it's up to you entirely how you start, though I would suggest that you start with the volunteer learning first. That's the one you need to do first, because that's the most important one, and it gives you all the information you need of what it takes to be a volunteer. So here it is, roles and responsibilities. You start playing it, make it bigger. So here it is, instructions. Please complete this roles and responsibilities session as part of your volunteer training. Your training record will be updated once this session is complete. Please note your organisation may require you to undertake further training on induction. Throughout the session, you will occasionally see references marked by a number, for example 1 in square brackets. To see those references and links to further resources, select the drawer icon, which is this one with the dots and the line, which is at the top of the screen. Select the man in a circle to switch on accessibility if you have a sensory impairment, for example visual disability. So then you go session overview, and again you go through this. You go, by the end of this session you will be able to describe your volunteer rights and responsibilities, explain why it is important to volunteer in ways that are agreed with your volunteer coordinator, and how and when to raise any concerns you may have, explain why it is important to be honest and identify where errors may have occurred and to tell the appropriate person. Describe your responsibilities to the person you support. Describe why it is important to volunteer within a team and in partnership with others. And here is the details of your own health and safety is very important. During this pandemic, you must take care of yourself and stay at home if you exhibit any symptoms of coronavirus, or you live with anyone who is unwell or shows symptoms of coronavirus, or you are an individual who is shielded. So in this case, if any of these apply, then obviously you cannot be a volunteer at this time. Okay? And so as we move down, you can see here there's lots of information, key definitions. Throughout your role, you will come across some key terminology and phrases. We have listed this terminology at the beginning of each volunteer learning passport session, so that if necessary, you can remind yourself what they mean. And so it's very important here for you to do some note taking. Do not rely on coming back to this because you might find it boring to come back. So this is the time to start taking some notes of key information. My advice is to create some mind maps where you have this as a key bullet. So for example, if we look at what I'm talking about in terms of a mind map, and I'm talking actually about a handwritten mind map. Okay, oops. So my note is opening, and that is my mind mapping software. So here I could put volunteering training, and then key concepts, And then the first one is person-centered care. And ideally you shouldn't just copy it, you should actually summarize it, but you could copy it. Person-centered care is putting the person at the heart of everything you do. So I like that, putting the person at the heart of everything you do. And here it allows me to put some emojis. Let's see, not that one. This one, yeah. So if I look for a heart, here it is. So putting the person at the heart of everything we do. The services supporting someone are focused on that person's needs and preferences. So it's about needs and preferences of the person we are helping. So you can see here I've kept some of the keywords the same, needs and preferences, but I've talked about helping instead of supporting. Okay, and so you can do that, and that will again help you to remember a lot of these words and come back to, when you're writing your essay, you want to think about how it's reflected and helped you to change your thinking about certain things. It's also important for you to keep a reflection journal, because you will need to write a short essay on this, and so it's important when you're going through this to sit down, every time you sit down to do the training, to think about what you're learning. What one thing are you learning? What one thing have you changed in terms of how you think about something, and what one thing would you like to do following this training that you have done? Okay, I'm going to stop there. We will talk about this more in class as we go along over the coming weeks and months. I look forward to seeing you.